All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Anuja Kumar. The headlines. Filing of nominations for third phase of Lok Sabha elections ends this evening. Reserve Bank to announce today its first bi-monthly monetary policy of current financial year. Niti Aayog calls for new regulations to ensure repayment of bank loans following Supreme Court order. Lower House of British Parliament approves a bill to force Prime Minister Theresa May to ask for an extension to Brexit process. And in IPL cricket, Mumbai Indians beat Chennai Super Kings by 37 runs. The filing of nominations for the third phase of Lok Sabha elections will end this evening. The scrutiny of nominations will take place tomorrow, while 8th April will be the last date for withdrawal of candidature. 115 seats spread over 14 states and union territories will go to polls in this phase on the 23rd of April. All parliamentary constituencies of Gujarat, Goa, Kerala, Dadra and Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu and Puducherry will go to polls in this phase. Besides this, voting will also take place for 14 seats each in Maharashtra and Karnataka, 10 seats in Uttar Pradesh, 7 in Chhattisgarh, 6 in Odisha, 5 each in Bihar and West Bengal, 4 in Assam and 1 in Jammu and Kashmir in this phase. Along with the Lok Sabha polls, 42 seats of Odisha Assembly will also go to polls in this phase. In Gujarat, 260 candidates have filed their nominations for the third phase of 26 Lok Sabha seats till yesterday. A total of 27 nominations have also been filed for by-polls to 4 assembly seats in the state. Our correspondent has the details.
10 senior Congress leaders, including its former state president and former union minister Bharat Singh Solanki and leader of opposition in the state assembly Paresh Dhanani, have filed nomination papers yesterday. BJP has filed 10 new faces in the state, including party president Amit Shah from Gandhinagar Lok Sabha seat. Apart from ruling BJP and opposition Congress, NCP and BSP have also filed their candidates. Polling for all Lok Sabha seats of the state will be held on 23rd April in the third phase. By-poll of 4 assembly seats would also be held simultaneously. Yogesh Pandya, AIR News, Ahmedabad.
In Assam, 38 nomination papers have been filed for the third phase. The constituencies which will go to polls in this phase include Guwahati, Dhubri, Borpeta and Kokrajhar. In Bihar, 57 candidates have filed their nominations for the third phase. Constituencies going to the polls in this phase include Jhanjharpur, Supaul, Araria, Madhepura and Khagadia. Meanwhile, Rashtriya Lok Samta Party has released the names of remaining 4 candidates. Jharkhand Mukti Morcha will contest 4 Lok Sabha seats in Bihar. Party spokesperson Supriyo Bhattacharya said the party will contest from Katihar, Purnia, Kishanganj and Banka. The BJP has released another list of 1 candidate for Lok Sabha election and 4 candidates for assembly elections in Odisha. For Lok Sabha polls, the party has fielded H.S. Patel from Ahmedabad East constituency in Gujarat. The list was finalized by party's Central Committee in New Delhi. The Congress has released a list of 6 candidates in Gujarat for the Lok Sabha elections. It was finalized by party Central Election Committee in New Delhi. BJP President Amit Shah will address public meetings at Narsaraopet and Vishakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh today, while Congress President Rahul Gandhi will address an election rally at Nagpur in Maharashtra. He will also file his nomination from Wayanad in Kerala today. Union Textiles Minister and BJP leader Smriti Irani will begin a 2-day visit to Amethi today. She is the BJP candidate for Amethi, where she is pitted against Congress President Rahul Gandhi. Election Commissioners Ashok Lavasa and Sushil Chandra will review preparations for Lok Sabha polls in Tamil Nadu today. The Election Commission team will hold discussions with the State Chief Secretary, Director General of Police, Home Secretary, senior income tax officials and others at a meeting in Chennai. The team yesterday heard the opinions of different political parties about the prevailing election scenario and about their demands. Our correspondent has filed this report.
The issue of money distribution and holding by-elections to 4 more vacant assembly seats are said to be some of the key points being discussed by the Election Commission, besides the election-related logistics and the requirement of security personnel. Cash distribution has been highlighted by almost all political party representatives who met the election commissioners yesterday. The commission has given a positive response to the demand about by-election for the excluded 4 assembly seats. As the poll panel is meeting all stakeholders concerning the elections, the poll process is said to be fine-tuned in whichever areas required. Jai Singh, AR News, Chennai.
The Supreme Court has said it will hear tomorrow the pleas challenging the validity of the centre's decision on issuance of electoral bonds for political funding. The bench, comprising Chief Justice Ranjan Gogoi, while hearing the petition of an NGO, said that the matter will be heard by an appropriate bench tomorrow. The petitioner has filed an application in the court seeking stay on the electoral bond scheme, which was notified by the centre in January last year. The NGO, in its plea, has said that amendments carried out in the relevant acts have opened the floodgates to unlimited corporate donations to political parties and anonymous financing by Indian as well as foreign companies. This is All India Radio giving you the news. For quick news updates, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
News Services Division of All India Radio is broadcasting a special live program, Janadesh 2019, on the developments related to the general elections 2019.
Tune in to the FM Gold channel of AIR from 4:05 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. every day till the announcement of results to listen to this special program.
The Reserve Bank of India will today announce its first bi-monthly monetary policy of current financial year. The 6-member Monetary Policy Committee, headed by RBI Governor Shaktikant Das, will meet in Mumbai for the 3rd consecutive day today ahead of the policy announcement. We have a report.
The resolution of the MPC or the monetary policy will be placed on the website at 11:45 a.m. today. Industry and experts are expecting that the banking sector regulator may cut the re-lending rate at which it lends to commercial banks by 0.25% so as to boost economic activity. The RBI had cut the repo rate by 0.25% in February after a gap of 1.5 years. Sonali Gharial Patil, AIR News, Mumbai.
Niti Aayog's Chief Executive Officer Amitabh Kant has said that the government and the Reserve Bank will have to bring in a new set of regulations to ensure that borrowers repay their debt in time following the Supreme Court order. On Tuesday, the Apex Court had struck down the February 12th circular of the RBI on non-performing assets. Speaking on the sidelines of a conference in Mumbai, Mr. Kant said such a move ensuring timely repayment and resolution of stressed assets is essential for long-term growth. The Telecom Regulatory Authority of India has directed operators to submit before it all tariff plans that they offer to select segment of customers at the end of every month. Telecom regulator asked the telecom operators to submit details of rates, terms and conditions of scheme to subscribers. In United Kingdom, members of Lower House of Parliament have voted by a majority of 1 to force Prime Minister Theresa May to ask for an extension to the Brexit process in a bid to avoid any no-deal scenario. The bill put forward by Labour Party's Yvette Cooper was passed by the Commons in just one day. However, it will need to be approved by the Lords before it becomes a law. It will still be for the European Union to decide whether to grant any extension. Here is a report.
The vote comes after Theresa May met opposition leaders Jeremy Corbyn for talks on Brexit. The discussions between the leaders, who are trying to find agreement on the way forward, were described as constructive. Mr. Corbyn has, however, said discussions were inconclusive. The patience is wearing thin in Brussels as on April 12 deadline to end Britain's 46-year membership nears with no agreement in sight. May's divorce deal with the other 27 EU nations has been rejected 3 times by the Parliament. Anupam Mishra, News Desk.
Pakistan could be blacklisted by the Financial Action Task Force due to insufficient physical actions on ground against banned terror groups to block flow of funds and activities. In June last year, the Paris-based task force had placed Pakistan on the grey list of countries whose domestic laws are considered weak to tackle the challenges of money laundering and terror financing. Pakistan's foreign minister has acknowledged that the country could lose up to $10 billion annually if it remains on that list. India continues to put pressure on the international community to keep Pakistan on the grey list. Former Maldives President Mohammad Nasheed has said the country is poised for a possible coup if his Maldivian Democratic Party MDP doesn't get majority in the presidential elections scheduled for Saturday. Talking to AIR correspondent in Malé last evening, Mr. Nasheed said one of the main reasons his government had to face a coup in 2012 was their failure to get majority in 2009 parliamentary elections. Mr. Nasheed, who heads the MDP and is contesting a parliamentary seat, said independent institutions, including judiciary, lose confidence in the government if it doesn't have a parliamentary majority. In IPL cricket, Mumbai Indians beat Chennai Super Kings by 37 runs in Mumbai last night. Chasing a target of 170, Chennai were bundled out for 133 for 8 in the stipulated 20 overs at Wankhede Stadium. Earlier invited to bat, Mumbai scored 170 for 5. In today's encounter, Delhi Capitals will face Sunrisers Hyderabad at the Firozshah Kotla ground in Delhi. The match will start at 8 p.m. In football, the Indian women's team registered a 2-0 win over Indonesia in its opening match of the Olympic qualifiers round 2 at Mandalay in Myanmar yesterday. With this win, India went a step closer to making it to the 2020 Tokyo Games. India will face Nepal in the second match of the group stage on Saturday. The National Film Archive of India has made some of the rare historical data from its collection available on its official website www.nfai.gov.in. The record consists of the early film data published as Bombay and Bengal government gazettes during the period 1920 to 1950. And now, for an overview of today's newspapers, it's over to Tanvi Taneja.
Thank you, Anuja. With the election fever rising high, the Hindustan Times reports Congress alleging bid to buy votes in Arunachal, BJP slamming AFSPA promise. The headline says Congress BJP in cash for votes manifesto war. In a front page headline on the BJP and Congress ensuring heavyweight bouts in the upcoming election, the Pioneer writes, Congress rebel pitted against Sonia, Singh Nirahua versus Akhilesh, BJP drops Kirit. Mamta launches strong attack at Modi, describes him as expiry Babu, notes the Pioneer, strongly contesting his allegations against her as being a speedbreaker in the path of state's development. Private forecaster SkyMet sees below normal southwest monsoon this year is a headline covered by almost all dailies today, attributing the below normal rains to the El Nino phenomenon. RTI scrutiny will ruin judicial independence, says the Attorney General Venugopal on the opening up of the highly sensitive correspondence of Supreme Court's collegium workings to the right of information regime. Jammu and Kashmir government bars civilian traffic twice a week on national highway to facilitate safe movement of security convoys, reports the Hindustan Times. Some relief to parents as High Court stays fee hike by private schools, says the Asian Age, after the court on Wednesday stayed the interim hike in fees by private unaided schools in the national capital. And finally, the Times of India writes, you can choose not to be added to a WhatsApp group. A new feature in the instant messaging app allows users to choose the groups they want to be a part of by customizing their privacy settings. And with that, it's back to you, Anuja.
Thank you, Tanvi. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Filing of nominations for third phase of Lok Sabha elections ends this evening. Reserve Bank to announce today its first bi-monthly monetary policy of current financial year. Niti Aayog calls for new regulations to ensure repayment of bank loans following Supreme Court order. Lower House of British Parliament approves a bill to force Prime Minister Theresa May to ask for an extension to Brexit process. And in IPL cricket, Mumbai Indians beat Chennai Super Kings by 37 runs. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.nic.in. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.